Hey everybody, welcome to tonight's webinar. This is the Star Diamond in 60 Days training, and we are on week 4 already. So we are halfway in. This is week 4, part 1. And so tonight the topic is on how to host challenge groups and just tips on everything that you can think of, like not just how to host them, but also what do you do with the challengers who stick out and how to turn those challengers into coaches. So tonight our guest speaker is Melanie Mitro, or Mitro. I always forget how to say that. Anyway, she was number 2 in the company. Hello. She was number 2 out of 150,000 coaches, and that is who is the guest speaker tonight. She actually spoke on our Star Diamond in 60 Day training last time, so this is actually when she spoke the last time, but everything is the same. If any changes, we will post them in the Facebook group. So what I wanted to mention before we get this started off is that I hope that you have listened to all the webinars up into this point. If you have not, it is crucial to your business to go to the Star Diamond in 60 Days Facebook group and then go to Files. There's like a little tab that says Files. I want you to go to there, and there is a document that Brigitta actually updated recently for me, thank you, and it has every single webinar recording. So if you are behind, you need to go there and catch up, because I just feel so blessed to be working with the people, you know, Scotty, Brandy, and Meg, and just all of the other leaders who are helping out and engaging, you guys who are commenting in the Facebook group. This training has been the best training that I've ever put on or been a part of ever in my business in 4 years. And I've done a lot of trainings. I got a whole training site to prove it. So I really need you guys. I mean, you guys, we talked about this on Monday. There was 1,500 people who signed a commitment form. You had dreams that you had in your heart. God placed that in your heart for a reason. He gave you everything that you need to accomplish those goals and those dreams that were in your heart that day you filled out the commitment form. So just go back, find out where you wrote down your goals January 1st, and go back to that place, get motivated, get inspired, and then catch up with these trainings and stick to it. We're only halfway in, so, there's a lot of time where you could still hit your goals and hit diamond. Because I'm telling you what, I'm going to show you how many people have hit diamond so far, and there is quite a few, actually, for only being halfway, but that's still really good chances of winning the cash prize. So that's another thing I wanted to remind you about. At the end of the 60 days, every single person who goes diamond is going to have a chance to win a cash prize. We have worked it out a little bit differently, where Scotty's team is going to have 3 winners in the diamond category. Brandy will have 3 winners from her team. Meg will have 3 winners on her team, and then obviously I'm going to have 3 winners on my team. So there's plenty. There's so many winners that are going to have a chance to win the cash prize. So why not? Like, seriously, you're going to get recognition and prizes and have fun just because you're growing your business and your income. Hello, why not? So, okay, so let's just get started with Melanie. Let me just tell you a little bit about, I know you guys know who this is. She speaks on National Wake Up Call. She's number 2 in the company, but she is a mother of 2 boys. Like I said, number 2 in the company. She's a 15-star diamond coach. The last time she spoke was in August, and she was 10-star at that time, and now she's 15-star. That's amazing. That's the highest rank that you can reach in the company. She's an elite coach from 2012 and 2013, and she has been a coach for a little over 2 years. Okay, so now I'm going to pull up the call where she had spoke and give it to her, and she's going to take over the call from here, and then I'll close it out. So let me just turn off my webcam. Here we go. And here's Melanie.
It worked? Yay! Okay, cool. Hi, everybody. I'm excited to be here. You guys have a great following, 194 coaches on this call. That's phenomenal. So yes, thank you for the intro. I'm really happy to be here, and it kind of feels surreal to be in this position right now. And as I was typing Mindy some facts about myself, number 3, it just doesn't feel like work. I don't feel like I had to work hard to get to where I am. I just really feel like I'm put in this place right now for a specific reason and to do a specific purpose. And I feel very blessed to have this opportunity. And I will tell you that 2 years ago, I joined a challenge group. It was when the very first challenge group was started. We were basically a test group. There was over 200 of us in a challenge group together. And my coach had reached out to me and had said, hey, I see that you just had a baby and you were posting on your Facebook wall about eating celery and you were trying to lose weight. And I thought maybe you'd want to do a challenge group with me. And I said, sure, what do I need to do? And so she had, at that point in time, given me an option to drink Shakeology or not. And I didn't have any money because we were down to a single family income, and so I borrowed Insanity off of a friend of mine who, hold your ears, had burned it. So that's how I got a copy of it. It was a burned copy of Insanity. And I did 60 days of Insanity. And I went through the first 30 days and really didn't lose any weight. And so I started researching clean eating, and other people started posting in our Facebook group about this whole clean eating. And I thought, oh my gosh, I can do this. And I started buying the books and reading about it. And I fell in love with clean eating. I fell in love with the challenge group because as a mom of 2 kids under the age of 4, I realized that I had no social interaction in the middle of winter. I needed some adults to talk to. I was struggling with my weight, so the Facebook group was a great place for me to go. And I loved it. And when I finished the group, I posted my before and after pictures from Insanity, and I posted them on my Facebook wall. And the overwhelming response that I got from people was crazy. How did I do it? What did I do? And I started to refer them to my coach, and my coaches go, Melanie, you need to be a coach. You'd be great at this. And I kind of hem-hawed around about it, and my husband said, this is just a waste of money. This is a waste of your time. I just don't think it's a good idea. And so I saved up my birthday money that I got, and I, without telling him, bought Shakeology and signed up to be a coach. And I thought he was going to kill me. He was so mad that I wasted money. And he told me it was the biggest waste of money and that I was never going to be successful and that I was never going to do anything with it. And I, at that point in my mind, said, I'm going to prove you wrong. I absolutely can make this work. I can see how I can make this better. Challenge groups. I love to teach other people. My background is in special education, so I have that teaching mentality. And I just had all these ideas about how I could run these challenge groups. And so that's kind of how the story began, was me really trying to not only prove that this was something legitimate that I could do, but also I really wanted to help other people. And challenge groups were the thing that I felt most passionate about. So I ran my first group, and what I did was I didn't require Shakeology when I started. I just started out by getting people together to be in a group. And what happened was everybody fell out, right? Nobody finished, nobody committed. It was a total flop, my first challenge group. The second one, I felt like I was getting a little better at explaining things. So then I started requiring people to drink Shakeology and people to buy a challenge pack. And so I got better as I went. And so what I've done is I've documented everything, and I've created basically like a challenge group curriculum, which I'm going to go over with you. But I want to back up and tell you a little bit about my strategy and how I perfected inviting people to be in a challenge group because it's a unique strategy. And for me, I feel very uncomfortable just mass messaging people or asking people to join my challenge group just through messaging lots of people. I would rather them come to me. So I found very creative ways of getting people to find me. So everything on my wall, I shared. Everything in my life. So I started giving tips about planning your meals. I started giving tips on my wall about what was a healthy carb, what was a good source of protein, especially because I had small kids. I would share tips about how I packed their lunches. I would, talk about how I pre-plan my meals. I just started bombarding my wall with all sorts of healthy tips. And people started to friend request me because so-and-so told them to follow me. And then when it was time for me to advertise for my challenge group, they had been seeing me work out. They had been seeing me talk about Shakeology, posting about my recipes, seeing my progress pictures and my before and after pictures. And when I posted about a challenge group that I was going to teach them how to do all of these things, it was kind of easy because they had already seen me as a person that had some expertise in this area. So I start out by advertising for my challenge groups by creating an image. So I use PicMonkey, and I'll create some sort of image with a motivational picture. Then I'll usually put like a Beachbody challenge in there. I usually put my team logo, and then I'll put some details that what my challenge group's going to encompass. So when you join my challenge group, you're going to get my support, motivation. I'm going to teach you how to plan out your meals. I'm going to teach you how to deal with cravings, emotional eating, all of that stuff. And I'll kind of just put like a couple little bullet points on that image, and I'll post that. And I always include some details in there as well. Try to catch people's attention. Think about what is it that they say to themselves in their head, but they don't actually say out loud. Think about the emotional things that people go through when they're trying to lose weight. That's what I try to talk about. A lot of times it's, are you afraid you're going to fail? Everybody's afraid to commit. They're afraid they're going to fail. Are you afraid you're not going to like Shakeology? Are you afraid that it's just going to be another thing that you invest money in and you don't see through? And that's the kinds of things that I type out when I'm inviting people to be in a challenge group. And then I say, you know what? Not this time. It's not going to be you. It's going to be different. I'm going to hold you accountable. And so that's usually my post. And I actually now have an application that I have them fill out. And it's just it's Woofu is what it is. And it's an application. It's a form website that you can go to create an application, and it just gives me some general information like, do they have a Beachbody coach? Do they what is their current fitness level? What does a typical day of eating look like for you? Do you own any Beachbody workout programs? How soon do you want to get started? Just some general fielding questions. They fill that out, and then that comes to my email, and I know that they're interested in my challenge group. So they don't have to post on my wall. They can just go and fill that application out, get sent right to me, and I start the process. And at that point, I reach out to somebody and I say, hey, I got your application. Tell me a little bit more about you. What are you looking to? What are your goals? What specifically has worked for you in the past? What hasn't worked for you in the past? What type of workouts are you currently doing, if any? Would you say that you're a beginner? Are you intermediate or advanced? So I kind of do some fielding questions. And then I say, I'm asking you these questions so I can help to customize the program and the plan that's going to fit for you to see if this challenge group's even going to be a good option. So I wait for them to respond back to me with their thoughts. And then at that point, I know whether or not the challenge group is going to be a good fit. And if it is, and they don't have a fitness program, I start that process. And if they've given me the information about what type of workouts they've been doing, I'll go back and say, all right, so do you want something that is a mix of cardio and strength training? Do you want something that's high intensity? Would you consider yourself somebody that likes sports training type cardio, or do you like more dancey cardio like Zumba? Do you have any time restrictions? And at that point, once they answer those questions, I actually go into the video library and I pull out the videos that I think of the workout programs that I think would be a good fit for them. And I usually try to give them 2 or 3. And I'll type back, I think T25 would be good for you because You're limited on time. They have great modifications. And since you consider yourself a beginner, they have great modifications. And as you get stronger, you can build yourself up. And then maybe the next one is Shakeology Extreme. And I give them a short little blurb about it. And I say, you know what? Watch these 2 videos. Get back to me. Tell me what you think. And I wait for them to get back to me. Sometimes it takes a day or 2. And I try to be patient because I know we're all waiting for that response. And so when they get back to me and say it's Shakeology Extreme, that's the one I want to do. It looks like it's fun. It's engaging. At that point, I say, great. We've got the workout. The next part's Shakeology. Do you know anything about it? Are you okay with replacing one meal with Shakeology? And I say the reason I'm making this a requirement is because a lot of times we don't fuel our bodies right. A lot of times we're coming into this wanting help with what to eat and when. Well, Shakeology is one meal out of the day. You know, it's a no-brainer. You don't have to think about what you're eating. It's super healthy. It's chocolate, which I know for me, I crave sweets, so that kills that craving. And I know that we all want to eat real food, right? But let's face it, we all get to a point in our lives where we get busy. We hit the snooze button one too many times, or, you know, our kids are making us late, or whatever. We forget to pack our lunch, and we say, oh, wow, I'll just grab something at the office, or I'll just grab something at a drive-thru. And you know darn well you're not making a good choice, and you're probably spending more than that $4 for that serving of Shakeology. So usually when I explain it that way, people are like, cool, all right, I got this. And I always say you only have to drink it for the duration of the challenge group. After that, you can decide that you don't want to do it anymore. So I always put that in there, put that ball back in their court. Most of the time they're okay with it. And at that point I say, okay, we're moving on. The next step is to get your challenge pack. And I explain exactly what the challenge pack is. And I go through, you know, what it includes. And I think that's important because people just see fitness program and Shakeology and they don't realize that you're getting 90 days of workouts. You're getting a nutrition guide. You're getting a manual that says, I want you to do this Monday through Friday. And then you're getting me in a challenge group that is giving you daily motivation. You're checking in daily. So I actually go through and say that, like, you're getting all of these extra things because you want to put value behind that challenge pack so that they really see all this support that they really need. And at that point, I give them the link and I say, you know what, when you go ahead and you purchase your challenge pack, just send me an email so that I know I can go back in and just make sure everything goes through okay, because it's been known to get screwed up every once in a while. And at that point, it will trigger me to add you to the challenge group and get you started. So I like following up with that, send me a message, because then we're not bugging them as to, did you place your order yet? Did you place your, I don't see it yet. You know, so we kind of put the ball in their court. And then if I don't hear from them, I will check up in a couple of days just in case, usually about 2 days. So we've got our challenge group up and running, right? We've invited people. We've gone through the process. I use social media. I usually do a blog post about exactly what my challenge group is. I've done YouTube videos before. All of those things. I advertise many different ways for challenge groups. I don't just do one post one time a day, because a lot of times our followers are not all on at 7 a.m. or they're not all on at noon. So if you stagger it different times of the day, multiple times of the week, think about a commercial on TV, right? You don't purchase something the first time you see it on TV. You purchase it after you've seen it a couple of times. You've had repeated exposure. People are talking about it. Then you make a decision. So if you post it once, it's out of sight, out of mind, and they forget about it. So that's what I tell my coaches as well when I'm coaching them through this. All right, so people are in the challenge group. What do I do first? I feel like this is an important step that maybe Beachbody doesn't go over so much. You know, they have great challenge group guides in the back office, but for me, I don't make every one of my challengers do the exact same workout program. So I have a challenge group. We all are starting on August 5th, but everybody's doing a different program, right? Because it's all individualized. So I've actually created a curriculum that over the course of time is 90 days worth of questions and 1 whole week of preseason. And it's just questions that I have developed, and I'll encourage you all to just get out a Word document. And instead of going in every day and just posting randomly, I actually have a sequence. So I started by just documenting what I was posting, and then I went back and rearranged it until I felt like I had a good structure. And now I can just reuse that stuff. I just copy and paste every single day. On some days I switch it up, but at least I have something to go off of. And then I don't forget what day I'm on also. All right, so when people come in, we start with that preseason. So the first week is actually the week before we start working out. And that preseason is when I'm having them write their goals. So I want to know, what do you want to accomplish the first week of our challenge group? What is it that you want to accomplish in the first 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days, right? And tell me why. Why are you here? Just like we write a why for being a Beachbody coach, I want them to write a why for their weight loss, for their challenge, and tell me, what is that deep down, pull at your heartstrings reason why you want to lose this weight, why you want to reach your goals. And then that gives me a good idea of their emotional reason why they're there. So I have them fill this out, and I make a document in the files section for every challenger so that everybody can see each other's goals and why. And then I print them all out, and I have them in a binder that I keep so that I can refer back to it as well. And then we do pictures and measurements. So I've grabbed the videos from Beachbody that tell you how to take your measurements, how to take your pictures, and I post those. Then we start meal planning. So the rest of the week, I teach them about what's a healthy carb, what's a good source of protein, how to pair your foods together. We talk about pre-planning out your meals. And what I do is I just post my own meal plan that I make. I make a table in Microsoft Word, and I save it, and then I post it in the group, and I say, this is what a typical week of eating looks like for me. And I post it for them. And every week I share what I'm eating and what I'm doing with them. And so I have everybody create their own meal plan. And on Sundays, that's our day. It's our plan and prep day. So on Sundays is when they're posting all of that stuff. So by Monday, we're ready to go, right? Because we've talked about getting our workout space ready. We've got our food prepped. Everybody's got an idea. We're pumped up. We're ready to go. And then we start. Every Monday, I send my coaches a Monday mindset video that I've created. I created 12 YouTube videos, and each week has a different topic. So the topics, like the first week talks about just getting through that first week, making that change, being excited. The second week talks about you're tired, the novelty is worn off of being, of the newness of a challenge group. You're tired, you're sore. It's about pushing through and making a change. Week 3 is about, okay, you're not just doing this for you anymore, but maybe you have family that you're doing this for. So name 3 people that you want to positively impact by your transformation, by your journey, right? So I then make it more of an emotional connection that they're in this. And then week 4, we talk about our progress. And so at the 30-day mark, I have everybody do pictures and measurements. They can choose to post it in the group, or they don't have to. It's totally optional. But I encourage them to do so. I tell them to make a little collage and let's shout out their progress. And I make a big deal about inches and pounds lost. And I have them tell me non-scale victories. So maybe your scale hasn't moved, but tell me a little bit about how you're feeling. So we go over that. Topics, lots of different things. Emotional eating, how to deal with late night snacking, how to handle eating out at a restaurant, how to make this a habit. It just all the things that have come up in my own personal journey. I found topics or articles and I share them with my challengers. And these are all the things that I've saved in that document. There's a book that I use. It's called The Body Fat Solution, and it's by Tom Venuto, Venuto, and it mimics the clean eating principles, and I've used his tips in there for my challenge groups. I've also used the Eat Clean Recharged book. I've pulled stuff out of there as well to post about. I talk about the water challenge, all sorts of great stuff. So those are some of the resources that I've used along the way and have had a lot of success with them as well. So what ends up happening, right, is you see people in these challenge groups that start to act like the coach. They start to step up. They start to be the people that are encouraging other people, or they're posting pictures of themselves working out or the food that they're eating. And you're like, I think this person would make a really good coach. And so that's when I start to approach coaching those people. I'll message them and I'll say, you are doing a fabulous job. I really appreciate you commenting and being an active member. And, have you ever considered being a coach? Because you're basically doing what I'm doing. And most of the time they're like, yeah, I don't know if that's for me. I'm like, well, just think about it. You really are doing great. I'd be more than happy to teach you what I do, and we can co-run a group together if you have some friends that would be interested. Sometimes they say yes, I'll think about it. Sometimes no. So the next thing I usually do is I say, well, what about being a discount coach or a preferred customer? You can at least get 25% off your Shakeology, and you can kind of check out coaching to see if it's for you. If it's not, you just cancel it. There's no penalty. There's no, if you bought a challenge pack, it's free to sign up, and all you have is a $15.95 membership fee. So usually they have to resonate on that for a little while too. But most of the time, those people that are awesome in my challenge groups, they sign up as coaches. And when they sign up as coaches, they are fantastic coaches because I have basically taught them every step of the way how to run a successful group. And so they turn around and say, I'm ready. I've been talking about this. I've got friends that have watched me go through this and they want to know how to do it. And so what I do is the next challenge group I have, I put them in as my apprentice coach. They invite those people that are interested as their challengers. And I, again, continue to run the group, but it's their customers. And so they're watching how I do it now from a coach perspective. And then halfway through, I start letting them take the responsibility of posting a week here and a week there, or we alternate days, so that as a new coach, they're not coming in having to learn it all, know how to run a challenge group all at one time. They've got me to kind of guide them through. And also, I take that 90-day curriculum that I have and I give it to everybody on my team. So when they sign on as a coach on my team, they automatically have access to all that resources. And all they need to do is customize it and make it their own. So when you're looking at your organization and building a successful challenge group, you're looking at it from your customer's perspective. So how can you be consistent with your customers and provide them with really great customer service? You can create a curriculum that can be easily duplicatable. And then also you're looking at it from the perspective of, how can I teach this to my coaches and make this a really smooth process so that they can be successful, so that it can take one thing off their plate that maybe they struggled with, that they're struggling with, because it's hard enough to get started, right? So this just makes things a little bit easier in the process. So those are my major challenge group. I mean, that's what I do with my groups. That's been successful. Do you guys have questions for me that about challenge groups, anything that I didn't touch upon?
Okay, guys, I'm going to stop the recording right there because obviously you guys are not on live. So hang on, just let me get this set up, and I'm going to close out the webinar. And if you guys do have questions, I just wanted to mention, please go to our Star Diamond and 60 Days Training, Facebook group, and you can just ask them to us and we can answer them for you, okay? Now the document that I hope that my hair's not sticking up straight, but I'm going to turn the camera back on. Oh, this computer's a little close. Okay, it's not good, but let's just go with it, okay? Okay, so the document, the curriculum that she's talking about, I will post one in the group for you guys to use. It just makes things so much easier, so please look for that. If not tonight, look for it tomorrow morning. I'll make sure to get it to you guys as fast as possible. But what she just said, didn't that sound kind of simple? I think what we do, especially as a new coach, you have so much information that's coming at you so quickly. It's very easy to get a little overwhelmed. I mean, I always tell my new coaches this, like, if you're not overwhelmed, then it's weird. That's just weird. So it's true. Everyone feels overwhelmed, but you have to just hit the ground running. You don't have to learn everything before you start. You just have to get going and starting. This makes it easier. Everything that Melanie went over is doable for everyone, whether you're 15-star or a brand new coach. And I just love the idea of an apprenticeship and that she has the document created for all her coaches. All the work is done for you. So it's all done for you guys too. So that document, like I said, will be posted soon. So let's just quickly go through some recognition. Here is all the new emeralds. Now, I shouldn't say all. These are the new emeralds, like last week. Was it last Monday? When I hosted the webinar for starting new coaches off right that week, I posted the emeralds. Now here are the new emeralds since then. So these are all the new emeralds since that date when I hosted. So, I mean, seriously, congratulations everyone who turned emerald. That's awesome. Now here is the ruby and diamond rank advancements. This is for the 4 weeks, okay? So congratulations, you guys. Look at, we already have some, and if you're ruby, let's be honest, you're gonna be diamond like this week or next week. It's just the way it is. Rubies, a lot of people skip ruby and go to diamond. You guys have done the hardest part of getting to diamond, which is getting emeralds. So now you are just like, you're gonna be diamond by the end of this training for sure. So look at everybody who went diamond. Congratulations to Christina, Robert, Rebecca, Natasha, Cara, and Bridget. I'm so proud of you guys. I know this is just the beginning. We're going to be giving so many more of you recognition on these webinars and in the Facebook group. And you guys are going to be in the cash prize drawing by the end of the training. I know there's going to be so many of you in that drawing, so we're really excited. Me, Scotty, Brandy, and Meg, we talk about it we have like a message going back and forth on Facebook all the time, and we're just like, wow, it's going really good. This training is going good, and everyone is doing so awesome, plugging into it, and we love it. Now the challenge for this past week, so last Wednesday to this Wednesday, the challenge winner for week 4 with the highest personal volume points of the week is Christina Collins. Yes. You know who this is? That's my personally sponsored coach. I was like, yes, I didn't even know. So I remember she text messaged me a couple days ago and she's like, I got a lot of volume. I'm like, I was shocked at how much volume. I mean, she has more volume than I do this week. So hello, that's awesome. And then when I saw that she was the winner out of all of you, thousands of people, I was just so proud. So congratulations, Christina. Message me on Facebook after you watch this webinar, and I will send you your $100 iTunes gift card. Now your to-do list, everybody, is like every other week. To join the Facebook group, if you haven't yet, go to tinyurl.com/60-day training. And again, that's the number 60. To get on the email list, it's tinyurl.com/60-day email. When you rank advance, this is very, very, very important. When you go diamond, and only send the rank advancements if you're diamond and above, but when you go diamond or above, send them to 60daytraining@gmail.com. Also, if you could write in the description who your upline is. If your upline is Scotty, myself, Brandy, or Meg, that would be so helpful. And I know I didn't mention that prior to tonight, but that would be so helpful moving forward. Yes, obviously these are recorded because you're watching the recording right now. So I like I said at the beginning of the webinar, there's a document with all the recorded webinars. So please go back through those. Even if your coaches that just signed up and they need to get them started in this training, they are not too far behind, okay? Get them going. This is a training that will grow your business and your team's business. Now we have business opportunity webinars. We will post the information to those in the Facebook group. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Next Monday, Monday is our next, I think it's February 3rd, and that will be with Shiva, and she's going to be going over challenge packs. Okay, so it's kind of piggybacking off of what we went over tonight. So have a great night, and please leave comments and feedback in the Facebook group. Ask questions there. We love to hear from you guys. Have a great night.